In this video, I'm going to be talking about plein air paintings. So in this video, I painted 2 oil paintings. I'll say right now, I kind of failed at successfully doing plein air paintings, and if you don't know what that is, plein air paintings, I recently just learned, that's what it's called when you go outside. You bring your canvas, your easel, your paints, your brushes, and you bring everything outside and you paint in the environment. You leave the 4 walls of your studio and you paint outside. And you can see that I'm inside painting. The reason is because I did try that, and I do have footage of me trying that, but unfortunately failed. So there's a lot of factors, and I'm going to be talking about that inside this video. I firstly want to mention that this Jeep was inside my town, so I'm working off a reference image rather than going outside. I went outside and I tried to paint a scene inside my town. I just went outside for something that inspired me to paint, and it kind of failed. And so some of the factors were the sun and the lighting and how uncomfortable it was outside, and how I literally could not see the color paint that I was trying to mix and put on the canvas. And my subject, it was terrible timing, I think, because the sun was setting while I was trying to paint, and so the colors were changing constantly, and it's really, really hard. It's really, really hard. The reason that I was inspired to paint these paintings, though, and to try plein air painting, was for a scholarship that I'm applying for. So right now in my life, I'm kind of in between stages, and I'll talk a little bit about that too. I just finished my associate's degree, and I got all the credits for my associate's degree, and I'm not really sure where I'm going next. I'm looking at UHart, University of Hartford, for ceramics, because that's my focus, but I need funds to go to college. I'm also looking at Alfred University, which is insanely expensive, but I'm looking at funds and how to afford that college, so I'm kind of in between stages and decisions, and having to make a lot of decisions. So these paintings were a really good breather to all that stress, and I just took a week or so to just paint these 2 paintings. I just sat down and I took out my oil paints and just got to work. I loved this Jeep painting. It was super fun, and I'll get into the second painting soon and how I did it and the struggles that I faced. But basically, I'm doing these paintings for a scholarship, because online I found some scholarships that I can apply for, and one of the scholarships was about artists and their oil paints and a painter, and it was about basically a scholarship for students that are pursuing visual arts. And so since I'm pursuing ceramics and art, I decided to apply, and I had to submit 3 paintings for plein air paintings. And so I hope I'm saying that right, plein air. And so I decided to do these paintings. I also submitted the painting that I talked about in the last video, which was the oil painting video for my college semester, my last college semester of the still life. And inside that painting, I thought I did a really good job, so I submitted that as well. So for this next painting, I went on a bike ride around my town, and I found a 7-Eleven, and I just had some inspiration to try to paint it. This one didn't really go as well, I don't think, because I couldn't capture all the details, but I did it quickly. I definitely did this painting quickly. I think it only took me like around 2 to 3 days to finish the entire painting. I don't think I captured as much detail as I did inside the Jeep, and I think that the Jeep painting was more successful. And when I tried to paint outside, my subject was a house, so maybe that's my problem, because I couldn't paint the house properly. I'm not sure, but this 7-Eleven was harder to paint than the Jeep, I would say. The Jeep is a very boxy car, and so painting the details was the hardest part, but painting the structure and getting the proportions right of the car, making it look realistic, and with all the lighting, that's complicated, but it was a lot of fun to do, and I think I got it pretty right. I really enjoyed working with oil paints. I tried to do an acrylic painting, and I did my skateboard painting too. And the paintings, it's so hard to work with acrylic paint. The paints that I have are too opaque, or either they're too transparent, they're too watered down. It feels like I can't get the right consistency, and I can't blend them properly. But oil paints, I love working with them. They're great paints, but they are terrible to clean up. I had to use mineral spirits and oil, and it's just so smelly and gross. And cleaning the brushes is a pain too. All the brushes you use have to sit in oil while you use them, and then you have to wash them really, really well, or else they get ruined. So that's the only thing. Oils are really great to work with, really hard to clean up though. And it's like, what do you do with all that dirty oil or like cleaner when you're done? So it's hard to work with. But I really enjoyed painting these paintings, and I think it was a great break, like I said, from the stress of applying to colleges, applying to jobs, and I'm not sure where I'm going right now for college, or if I'm just going to take a gap year. So yeah, it was nice to take a break from those and try out plein air painting. I had a lot of fun trying it, and hopefully in the future I will be going outside and I will be painting. I promised to make another video about me going outside and actually painting outside, but I decided to make a video about me working in my studio and just trying to paint these scenes that I found outside that were inspiring to me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this inspired you in some way. Thank you for watching.